Hey everybody, it's Tamika and I am here with an Alina Cuddle design team project. I am going to show you how I made this cute little gift tag from start to finish. So let's get to it. If you are under the age of 18 and are watching this video, please stop now. This content was not intended for you. The first thing I'm going to do is lay down a little bit of contact paper to protect my surface. When I'm doing mixed media, I try to remember to do this. I don't always, but it's a good tip. So today we're playing with the following designs. We have some stitch borders. We have a hello thanks card, some butterflies, a stencil. We're going to use some of this beautiful color, mint colored ink, this metallic paste, some brushes, and some black ink. So I'm going to start out with a tag. It's a stitch tag. I'm not sure where this came from. It was in my Alina bucket, but I'm not sure it's hers. But I'm going to cut that out with some heavyweight cardstock, and I'm going to do that twice so I can have a sturdy tag. I'm going to take this glitter paper and cut out two different butterflies on different portions of this ombre glitter. They turned out so pretty. And then I'll take the thanks, hello, thanks, thinking of you sentiment stamp and die set. Everything will be linked down below for you guys if you want to check it out. And I'm going to start with the banner. I was going to just cut it out, but I kind of wanted the outline of the black. So I took the black ink and pressed it on top of the stamp so I can get that kind of border a little bit heavier on one side. Obviously, I can't do anything perfect. So I stamped that. I'm going to leave it because I'm going to distress it a little bit anyways. So, or at least I think I am, but I end up forgetting. So I'm going to take the die and lay it right on top. It's a perfect fit. I'm going to cut that out. I'm also going to stamp my hello and friend sentiments in the same black ink, and I'm going to die cut those. A little tip, if you don't know, add a little bit of washi tape on top of your die and stamp so that they don't move during the process. Just make sure you line them up as close as possible. I didn't do that on this friend, but make sure you line it up as close as possible. So cut that out, cut out beautifully, had no problems, and then remove everything, and I'm going to go ahead and just place it just to see how I like it. And it's just too white on white on white, so I am going to color it later because this is me deciding, okay, let's get some color on here. So I take a little bit of my base and I add just a little tiny slither of the wax to that, and look how pretty that turns out. I just needed a little bit, and boom, mix it up on my little mat there, and it's good to go. I take my stencil and I tack that down with a bunch of washi tape so that it doesn't move, and I grab the palette knife that had ridges to it so there can be some texture to when I get done to my polka dots that are on this stencil. So I scrape all that, and there's a little bit extra that I don't want to throw away. So I'm going to end up using that on a piece of cardstock later. I remove a washi tape, and boop, looks so cute. So move that off to the side so it can dry, and it will dry rather quickly. Wipe my surface up with a baby wipe because those are always handy. Baby wipe and paper towel, always handy. And then I use the rest of the mixture on top of some simple cardstock, and boom, set that aside for another time. I'm going to clean up again behind myself because I'll be using ink next. I want to make sure that surface is clean. So, and this is a great way to not mess up your mat. Like, seriously, awesome. I take my tag, just one of them, and then I grab the ink and I start to brush that on. I start off on side of the cardstock before I rub it onto, because I don't want harsh marks on there. So just to kind of give it just a little bit of kiss of the gorgeous color. So pretty. So again, we're wiping. Okay, and we're drying. So I take the black ink and I kind of want to touch it along the edge of the tag. Now the gift that I'm giving is black wrapping paper. So to add a little color, I went ahead and did the black and the mint, but I wanted it to remain dark. So I am going to distress the edges a little bit with the black ink and a different color brush. All of this stuff you can get from Alina Cuddle. I'm going to clean that ink off because we don't want that on the back of anything. And then I'm going to take my stitch stamps. I love this. This is the first time I'm using it, but so much variety in this. So I'm going to place that on top of my stamp block just for purposes of being able to stamp the ink on top evenly or as evenly as possible. And I take it off the block and I'm going to just press it along the side to give it a little kiss on the paper. Plus it also will enable it will allow, girl, get it together. It will allow me to curve the edges so that I can get the sides of the tag. And like I said, I'm just touching it because I don't want it to be perfect. Just, you know, it's a mixed media thing, so it's not always have to be neat. So that's done. I'm like, yes, I like it. Just a kiss of the arrows. And so now we're going to address this stamp set. So I decided to go ahead and color the whole thing with the ink and both of those. So I was going to leave it a little bit hollow, but I decided to go back and distress the whole, or ink the whole thing up, because I know that I'm putting it on top of that polka dot base. So I'm going to cut some strips of some pop dots and put those on the back of the little sentiments, and then attach those with a little bit of hot glue to make sure that they stay on top of that texture on top of my little ribbon die there. Add some dimensionals to the back and lay it on top of the card. So cute! And so now we're going to attach the back piece that makes this tag more sturdier. And then I also will later on, when I wrap it all up, it'll have a lot of ribbons and stuff to it. So added my cute little butterflies. I was going to keep it single and use the second butterflies for later, but I decided to double them up on top of each other because it looked a little bare with just the one. So I wanted to double it up and give it a little bit of heftiness. So I did that to both of the butterflies. And once that's done, I'm like, it needs a little shimmer. So I have a homemade shimmer spray tutorial I can link down below. I tapped it a couple times, and then I'm using my heat tool to go ahead and get that all dried out. And lastly, we have to add a little bit of bling. So as I'm thinking about this, okay, Tamika, with the cleaning of the area, okay, already, we get it. I add a little bit of bling, and then I go back and tackle all the little dots just to add a tiny bit of sparkle to the dots. Not a big, it's not going to take it over. It's the tiniest little dots that I have. And I put them on all the little holes there so that they can, you know, give it extra shimmer. We have the butterfly with the glitter, and then we have all those little dimensionals with the glitter as well. So this is how it turned out, and it is absolutely beautiful. I wish I could capture the glitter and the sparkling of it much more than I have been able to in my craft room, but I went outside and had to do it, and it's so sparkly, and it is giving hello friend for real. So anyway, that wraps up this tag. Here are the items again that I use in the project. As I stated earlier, you can find all of these items linked down below in the description box if you guys are interested. So be sure to check down there. And here's how that piece of cardstock turned out. I love the texture using that palette. So we can always use our excess and put it on something and save it for later in a later project. So easy way to not use so much waste. So if you have a second, take a second and like this video if you like what I created. And don't forget to leave a comment and let me know you stopped by. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.